Hey everybody, it's Chris, and tonight we're going to be looking at the Latitude64 Bite. Now the Bite is designed as a dog disc, so you can take it out and play catch or fetch with your dogs. My dogs have been playing with one since I came back from GBO in 2013 when I lived in St. Paul, and they've been playing with the same one since 2015, 2014, somewhere in there. Has untold number of retrievals on it, and you'll actually get to see it in this video. It's a little more beaten in than some of the other ones we tested. Why do I want to look at the Bite? Well, like I said, I've been throwing them since 2013. They're not always in the bag. I do think they're fun in the woods. They're a touchy disc. I usually rely on my putters, but these things are just so much fun to throw. I almost always carry one with me because I can regularly just start tossing them to people and they'll toss them back, because once we start throwing discs, we're disc golfers. We like to throw things. It just becomes natural. And once people start throwing them, they tend to enjoy it as well. The first Bite I encountered, like I said, was at GBO in 2013. I threw it once, realized it was more overstable than most dog discs I'd ever thrown, convinced my buddy that he needed to throw it, and we actually sat outside on Main Street, or Commercial Street. I always get that wrong, whichever one Dynamic Disc storefront is on, and we're just throwing this Bite up and down the center of the street while it was closed off. Been a huge fan ever since, so we're going to take a few throws to look and see what it does. But I just want to encourage you, if you've never thrown a Bite, try it out. It's great for warm-up. It's great for touch shots in the woods. This is my buddy Luke Wessel's signature stamp. Luke actually throws one in his bag in PDGA tournaments. I've watched him in tournament play. I think he threw it almost a dozen times the round we played together. It's just a very versatile disc, especially at 150 grams. It has a good amount of stability for this style of disc, so it's useful in a lot of different contexts. It floats very well. You can get it to turn and hold the line, and you're going to see some of those shots here. So, the Latitude64 Bite, designed for dogs, great for catch, also useful on the disc golf course. Definitely try one out, and if you don't like it, throw it my way, because I'll catch it and throw it back to you. Hope you enjoyed, and if you didn't notice over here, up next, you might get a sneak peek of the Pioneer, and maybe even the Recoil. A lot of releases come out, or the team members just got, and we'll start reviewing them soon. But hope you enjoy. As always, if you have questions or comments, please put them below so I can get back to you, and have a great night. So here we go out to the field, and you're just going to see some very simple straight throws with the Bite. You can see I'm not giving a ton of power. It's a lot of wrist snap here. I'm throwing it like a catch disc as opposed to a disc golf disc. Just a nice quick pop of the wrist. Disc flies very nice and straight, carries that beautiful flight. These are some low power throws. Of course the dogs are bringing them back every time, but you're not seeing that. But here we'll amp up the power just a little bit. You can see again, just a little more snap, but that disc carries a beautiful flight, fades out just a touch at the end. Pretty impressive for a disc when you know it's 150 grams. Here we go, putting it up in the air. It's tilted some, but I didn't put a ton of power on it, so it stays straight. And here we go, I'm going to throw it a bit harder. You're going to see a hyzer flip up and carry forward, and then you'll see how far out it went here. This is a pretty decent pull for a 150 gram catch disc. Here we'll get a couple anhyzer throws in. This disc does lean towards the understable, so if you snap it or if you put it on a line to turn over, it is definitely going to hold that for you. As you can see here, this is going to be a higher throw with just a little more snap. This has that really nice drift to the right. So now we'll get a couple hyzer releases as well. You can see I'm giving it nice height, letting it stand up a little bit before it just starts that drifting fade over to the left. This disc does want to just flatten out and go straight, as you saw in some previous throws, but because of the angle I'm releasing it on and the height I'm giving it, it is allowing it to fade left. Here's one more, a little bit sharper release angle, maybe not quite as much power, but again you can see just that slow drift down. And you can tell, I put the caption in there, dogs love them. My dogs will retrieve these all day to their own detriment. They actually have a lot of trouble with their hips, but you can tell they just love chasing this thing. I'll power it down so they actually have a chance at catching it. You saw Dutch get it there. She's going to try for this one, but they're not as young as they used to be. They do have some troubles with it. Not for nose. I was asked by a friend online to compare the old print Bites to the newer run Bites, and I realized that the nicest old run Bite I have is this one here that the dogs have been fetching since probably late 2014. It's much more beat in than any of my newer Bites. You can, as I put on there, it probably has 1,000+ retrievals on it. And it still looks good, but it's definitely broken in. You can see the amount of hyzer I put on that one, snapping it up to get it even close to straight. But the good news is, as you can see here, the dogs love playing, retrieving it. It's been a great exercise asset for them. So now that the dogs are tired, we'll go out to the woods and you can see what the bite can do out there. This hole is just under 200 feet and you can see it's slightly downhill. So just letting the bite drift, it's going to end up just right of the basket. Here I'm going to give it a little more hyzer. This basket's hidden behind the crown of the hill, but it's going to fade. It's almost dead straight ahead. That disc faded almost right to it. Here's some turnover lines. Well, the first one I didn't get turned over. I just flipped through it flat. And you can see how nice of a line it holds if you don't power it up. But here we're going to tilt it, overpower it just a touch so it turns over on the ante line, going toward that basket that's in between the two trees over there. And here's the correction. That one almost got there, so give it a little more height, tilt it, and just a second you'll be able to see the putt from that location where it landed. The Bite is a great disc, whether you're playing with dogs, playing catch, or going out to the course to hit tight lines and just practice. It will show you the flaws in your throwing. It's just a fantastic disc overall. I can't recommend it enough. If you like this video or found it informative, please feel free to like it, share it, or even subscribe to the channel. And as always, have a great night and be ready for a little bit of Pioneer preview. So here it is, Pioneer versus Proto Felon. You can see the Pioneer holds that beautiful straight flight. Felon has a little more height on it, that's my fault. But if you saw the preview picture, you're going to see that these things fell about 5 feet from each other on their finish. And that's going to be consistent throughout testing. I'm really looking forward to sharing more of the Pioneer with you.